welcome to this video lecture. Hope you're all doing good, guys. Yes, so today this is Pravina here to teach you class 6 lesson 1 science, and our topic is food. Where does it come from? Yes, guys, what did you had in your food today in the lunch? Might be dal or potato, so it might be something, right? So the kind of food that you intake may differ. It is not the same regularly, right? So let us move on to the topic food. So why do we eat food, my children? You may say that we feel hungry. Yes, is it that only the thing that we feel hungry we take in food? There might be some other reason, right? So what does food provide us? So here in this topic you are going to learn where does food come from, food and its importance, ingredients of food, sources of food, and types of organisms on the basis of their food habits. So why do we take in food, children? So as to perform our daily activities. So what does that daily activities include? Running, jumping, sleeping, skipping. So all these daily regular activities require energy. So where do we get this energy from? We get energy from the food that we take. And apart from that, it also helps in growth and development of the body. So guys, when you are in class 1, what is the height of yours? Now you are in class 6, right? So what is the height of yours now? Is there any change in the development of your body? Is there any change in the development of your height? So that it comes with the help of food. So food helps in the growth and development of the body. On the other hand, it will keep us healthy. Healthy means it increases our immune power. And these days we are seriously affected with a pandemic disease, right? COVID-19. So this is due to a kind of virus which is attacking our body. So to protect from those harmful organisms or bacteria or viruses, we have to take healthy food. It's because food, it just protects us from various germs and infections. Now let us see what determines food preparation and why it varies. So the basic three elements of food preparation are availability, temperature, and living condition. So let us firstly talk about availability of food. So for example, if you people are living in the coastal regions, so the mostly available crop is rice. So the predominantly grown crop in the coastal regions is rice. So here, as the products of rice such as idli or dosa may be the most staple type of crop that we eat, right? Yes, and if you just go to the central region of India, you find that wheat or maize would be the kind of staple crop. So any product that is made out of this wheat or maize such as chapati or roti may be the kind of food that is available, right? So it depends upon the availability of the food that we consume. So next, secondly, coming to the second element is temperature. So temperature governs the type of crop grown. Again, in the coastal region, so what is the predominant crop grown? Rice, right? So here the rice, it grows in moist and swampy areas. But whereas if we just go to the central region, that is central region, so that is the growth of wheat or maize. So they grow in arid and semi-arid conditions. So temperature, it governs the type of crop grown in a particular region. And coming to the last element, that is living conditions. For example, if you people are living in an Arctic region, so where you can find more number of animals there and the animal produces might be a kind of staple crop seen there. So living condition, it determines the type of intake of food that we consume. So these are the basic three elements of food preparation. They are availability, temperature, and living condition. So now let us see what is the regional diversity in food. Isn't it, children? The type of crop grown is different in different regions. So wherever you go in India, the kind of food that is available is not the same. It differs. And again, if you just go to the coastal regions, we see predominantly the rice or the coconut trees or rearing of the fishes, what we call it as an aquaculture. So the kind of food which is available in those regions is rice or coconuts or fisheries, right? So any product that comes from an aquaculture. Next, going to the Deccan Plateau. So what is most predominantly seen there? Paddy and jowar are the most predominantly grown crops. If you go to Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, you can see all different kinds of fruits such as apple, plum and peach. And if you go to the northern plains, the type of crop grown may be peas, carrot, wheat and bajra. In the same way, in western India, you can see more amount of dates, dal, amla and mustard which are growing in that region. So the type of crop grown, it depends, it just differs in different regions. So we can see the regional diversity in food. So where do we get this food from? So basically there are two main basic sources that where we get food from. Those are plant and animal sources. So we get food from plants and animal sources. So here, to prepare a particular type of dish, what do we need? We need ingredients. So ingredient is nothing but a material that is used to prepare a particular kind of food. For example, if you want to prepare roti, so what are all the ingredients used? Flour, right? Flour and water are used. So flour, where do we get it from? It is a plant product. It is a grain and we get it from the plant. Whereas water, as usual, it is a natural resource. And if you want to prepare dal, what all that we require? We require pulses, salt, ghee and spices and all this, right? So here, whereas pulses and spices, these are all the plant products, whereas ghee we obtain it from an animal, right? It is an animal source, whereas water we get it from oceans or seas. So we get the plant and the animal sources are the major sources of production of food. So here are some plant sources. See, grains, cereals, vegetables and fruits. Whereas coming to the animal sources, we get milk and its product, meat and its product and eggs. There are separate set of group of people who are called as vegan. They eat only the plant sources, in the sense they do not consume any animal products and the milk products. They do not consume those animal sources. So those set of people who are eating only who depend upon the plant sources, who consume only the plant sources, are considered as vegan. And this is most common in this set of group of people. They wanted to conserve the nature so as to protect the animals. So mostly you can see they have started from, you can see such group of people in United Kingdoms. Yes. Now, is it that would you eat only the seed? What part of a plant would you consume? Yes, it might be different parts. So each plant may produce a different part of a plant may be taken as a food. So that parts which are eatable, the plant parts that are eatable are known as edible parts. You see here in the picture, you can see the picture of a tree. So in some plants you might eat the root of a plant. Examples such as beetroot, carrot and radish. So these are all the root modifications. When coming to the stem again, you will eat the stem such as of sugar cane, and potato is also a kind of stem modification. Whereas leaf, amaranthus and spinach, we just consume it as a leaf product. Then flower, cauliflower, that which is mostly seen. Then flowers of cucumber might also be some parts of people, some regions of people, they even cook the flower of cucumber. So in such a way, we just consume different parts of a plant. So that parts which are eatable are known as the edible parts. Whereas mustard seed, it is used to produce oil, whereas the mustard leaves are used as vegetable, and brinjal is a fruit, right? And children, have you heard about the word sprouted seeds? Yes. So these sprouted seeds, here in the picture you can see, right? The seeds such as moong, so they are soaked overnight. You have to drain the water on the next day and tie them in a wet cloth. So on the next day you can see some thread like structures which are coming out of these seeds. So that is, the seed is germinating there. So we call them as the sprout. So it is a grain and we get that from a plant source. And apart from that, honey, it produces honey bees. And here in the picture it is clear, see, honeybees are collecting nectar and they are storing in their beehive. So where do these honeybees collect the nectar from? They collect the nectar from the plant, flowers of a plant. They suck the nectar from the flowers and just store them in their beehives as honey. So as flowers are not seen all over the year, they are not grown all over, they did not flower all over the year, right? So we can see them only in some particular season. So during that period, the honeybees collect the nectar from the flowers and store them in their beehives. So this rearing of honeybees, cultivation of the honeybees is done in apiaries. A kind of, as this population is being declining day by day, the government has started a revolution known as sweet revolution, so as to increase the product of honey. So these are the different sources, plant and animal sources, that where we obtain the food from. So based on the basic requirement of life, and its food is called as the basic requirement of life, and let us see, based on the consumption of the food material, all the organisms are divided into different groups. For example, the animals, you can find that a few animals that eat only the plant products. So animals which eat only the plant products, which just depends upon the plant and its products, are termed as herbivores. As such, cows and buffaloes, they eat only the plant products. So such group of animals which consume only the plant products are known as herbivores. Next, the animals which eat the flesh of other animals, such as milk, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, and so on. So those animals which consume the flesh of other animals are called as carnivores. And there are few organisms which eat both plants and animals. They consume both plants and animal sources. So those organisms which eat both these plants and animal sources are termed as omnivores. So based on the consumption of the food, all the animals are divided into three major groups. They are herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores consume only the plant product. Carnivores consume only the flesh of other animals, whereas omnivores, they eat the products from both plants and animals. Okay, thank you, children.